Okay, welcome back to another abbreviated 8-week semester here at University of the Cumberlands. This is ITS 836 Data Science and Big Data Analytics. And it goes by so fast. So here's what I wanted to cover in our week one lecture. I'll introduce myself. The course and the assignments that will determine your grade. I want to make a special note about academic honesty and originality and just my overall expectations for the way I like the course to operate. And then we will conclude. So my technical background, I became a computer programmer with the United States Air Force. I'm a retired Air Force officer, 30-year career altogether. But I started off as a programmer back in 1988, primarily on multi-user computers, VAX, from Digital Equipment Corporation, and moved over to PCs, did some development on Unix, on a PC, but with Unix loaded. Mostly Oracle. I keep coming back to the world of data. Seems like most of my time as a developer was working on Oracle databases, new applications for Oracle databases. But then in the mid 90s, everybody got super interested in networking and telecommunications. So I got a master's degree in telecommunications and did some network, ran a network control center for an Air Force base, some other work like that. Most of what I've done was enterprise information systems, though, larger scale, functional support systems and systems integration, web portals, enterprise social media, that sort of thing. I've been in IT training. Currently, I'm an IT training provider. Really, I teach a data analytics course a couple days a week for folks that are in Department of Labor registered apprenticeships. That's my main part-time job is as the training director at the Arkansas Center for Data Sciences. I live in Central Arkansas. So I teach, and then I find training classes for folks that run the gamut of IT, from cybersecurity to software development, data analytics, business intelligence, you name it. And we get folks trained up and into IT. That's what I do during the day. I've been adjunct faculty since 2005, continuously. I did teach one college class in the summer of 2001. Actually, I deployed to Kuwait. About me, I'm a father of three. I have three adult children, one grandbaby, 6 months old. I play guitar. I travel. Got a lot of different hobbies. Working out in my garage. My character, I'm helpful. I'm honest to a fault. I think I'm fairly energetic, hardworking. I like precise language and precision of thought and language. And I'm friendly, and I've been in a position of trust, public trust, my whole adult life, whether it was a security clearance or working for a university or working for a nonprofit. I've had a public persona my whole life. So that kind of explains my lack of sympathy when it comes to cheating, faking things, plagiarism, that faking it. Don't really deal very well with that. And I am not particularly understanding. I'll get people, trying to get, extra credit because at the end of the semester they finally notice that they're not getting a grade very well, or I was sick. Well, you weren't too sick to shoot me an email and tell me you were sick. So, anyway, I'm not particularly empathetic. This course takes a lot of work. My doctorate took me a lot of work. I never had to ask for any um, special treatment. It's, it's to stay fair. We keep the rules consistent for everyone. If something happens, don't make that your faculty members problem to deal with, because it's not fair. It's not fair to everybody else. Okay. So the course objectives, you'll notice in the syllabus, so the course objectives are all about big data and data science, and we'll talk about a good bit of that. And then unspoken but key in all of these is learning to be a researcher. Your PhD program is not another master's degree. The coursework isn't designed to make you smarter on topics. It's designed to introduce topics such that you can get into the literature and look at what research has been done on a given topic. Not just stuff people have written that's informative, but actually, no kidding, research projects where people have gathered data and reported the results of those research projects. Real research, not just reading and writing about something. So it's a whole nother level up. And you'll see in the syllabus, we start having discussions and assignments and readings about blockchain, but there's no mention of it in the course objectives. So that's because Cumberland's has a blockchain concentration, but no blockchain coursework. So they just kind of tacked it on to a couple of different courses. That's where we are now. I'm not a blockchain expert, but we'll cover that material and be done. These 8-week courses go really fast, so you gotta keep up. Assignments are pretty straightforward. You'll do 3 literature reviews. If you're not familiar with what a literature review is yet in the program, or if you're brand new to the program, you're going to want to do some self-study on what a literature review is. It's a structured way of describing the research, the no kidding research that has been done and documented and written about prior. And there are different ways to go about doing a literature review. There are structured methodologies that have been established for doing literature reviews. My suggestion would be to go on Google Scholar and type in big data literature review or data science literature review or anything that you're interested in for your dissertation. And if you've never done this before, you'll find there are papers that are literature reviews. That's all they do is go through and describe a topic and what articles have been written about it. And they're great sources of information. And you'll do 3 of those this semester. And of course, you've got discussion boards and a practical connection activity where you'll write about data science and or blockchain and how that pertains to you in your professional world, for a total of 1,000 points. There's a couple of videos in the week 1 folder. Make sure you watch them. You've got academic writing for systems engineers and an EndNote Word demonstration, which is bibliographic software that integrates with Microsoft Word that manages your APA citations and references, and you can even store the full article and make notes to it and whatnot. So it's just a way to capture and utilize your academic articles. So watch all of that. Okay, I want to make a special note about plagiarism and rewording. Rewording someone else's sentence, changing a noun or a verb here or there is not writing originally. It's plagiarism. So I look for that. And then there are, of course, websites, paraphrasing websites, which will just change individual words, but they don't change the structure, and they're terrible. And so if I sense that at all, I'll give you a 0. First offense for plagiarism is 0. Second offense is a failure in the course, and I notify the university. And then third offense, they tell me they dismiss you from the entire program. So write originally. This is easy to prevent. Um, uh, don't cut and paste anything into your paper, and don't look at someone else's article and retype it in, that avoids cutting and pasting, but it's the same thing. Um, it's not paraphrasing, it's cheating. So don't try and pass off something that you find on the internet as your own. Learn the key here is to learn enough about a topic, and none of this stuff that we're going to talk about is in excruciating technical depth. Not really. Um, so you need to learn enough about it. Some of the blockchain, eh, you're going to want to watch a few informative videos. I think do some reading beyond what's in the classroom. Um, but you got to be able to to type about it in your own words. And if you can't, you'll get into trouble if you try and use assemble a discussion post or a paper from other people's writing as opposed to writing your own sentences, words, paragraphs. You're going to get in trouble. So don't try it. Thanks. And here's the input and output of a paraphrasing website. So please don't tell me you don't know what these are, because I'm telling you. Like, look here. This is I wrote the top paragraph for a paper during my doctorate. I went and found it, cut it into paraphrasingtool.com, and this is what came out. So you can see, like, it changes user group to client bunch. I mean, we've all been to a user group meeting, but none of us have been to a client bunch method. So yeah, it changed knowledge worker to information laborer. No one says that. So these paraphrasing websites will take professional jargon, professional vernacular, accepted vernacular, like big data, and turn it to large information. When I see large information in your discussion posts or papers, it's an automatic 0. Okay. The name of this course doesn't have large information in it. It's big data. Okay. So don't let any software tool or temptation lead you astray. Okay. Enough about that. And I have another pet peeve, and that's in the discussion boards. Please post your reply by Thursday night, midnight, and your replies to fellow students by Saturday night. That way you have Sunday to kind of go in, and if somebody asks you a question, or if somebody answered your question, you can say thank you. If somebody asked you a question, you can answer their question. It gives you Sunday to kind of wrap up, because bam, Monday, and especially these 8-week courses, they go so fast. There's no point in posting late. If you post a reply to a fellow student on Sunday night, you may as well have not posted anything, because no one's going to read it. Okay. So get your posts in on time. And same rules for plagiarism as with assignments. Write conversationally from your own voice, from your own thoughts, as if you were talking to somebody at work about a technical topic, and you'll be fine. Write your own stuff. For your replies, or I'm sorry, for your initial response, we like to see 2 to 3 APA formatted citations with their references, but you don't need, title pages or any of that sort of stuff on a discussion board. So use professional but personal language. Normally in academic writing, you avoid personal pronouns, but in class discussion, I want you to discuss the topic. Don't just, fill in the block by saying, hey, good post, I want to add some points, blah, 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 and then just some simple definition of a term or some, nonsense. You need to actually talk about your experience, your opinions, your questions, what you learned during the week while you were researching, while you were reading about the topic. If you have a a resource that you like about a certain piece of information, you know, post a link to it. But I want to see you discussing these topics with each other, not just trying to talk over the top of each other like you're a professor, you know, lecturing each other. And I'll post something corrective when I see that. The post feature is enabled, so you won't see any replies until you post your initial response. So here is an example of what I'm talking about. Unacceptable. Okay, greetings, Jim, Bill. Greetings, colleague. Your post is full of wisdom and you are obviously an expert. It was well organized and contained useful information that I appreciate. All of that up front is pointless. Don't you? I mean, yes, be collegial to each other, but there's no point in writing so much fawning language about someone else. But yeah, you'll see it. And then here you go. I want to add some points to your post. And then, you know, they say something completely off topic that's just really simple that everybody knows. Now, this comes across as a lecture. This can come across like you are lecturing your classmate. Like I've seen it too many times to count. Someone will say, I want to add some points to your discussion. Big data is the study of, you know, large information stores, blah, and it's useless. It doesn't have anything to do with what the person posted. And it doesn't really add some points. It doesn't do anything except fill the square, make it look like you're participating. But very often we'll give a 0 for those. So don't lecture your classmates. Be real interaction, real discussion, real conversation. And, you know, check it out. If somebody posts something that sounds too good to be true, Google it, you know, see if it is something that you can find on the internet. And if you find somebody else's stuff on the internet, you are welcome to confront them in the class, or you can email me, whichever you're more comfortable with. But if you post something plagiarized in a paper for the whole world to see, you will be held publicly accountable. So you might as well get used to it during your PhD program. Okay, there you go. Be for real in class discussion. Be real. That's all I ask. APA format. I'm not a huge stickler when it comes to APA format. The instructions will tell you what you need. I don't generally ask for an abstract on these short papers, but I do like a, you know, title page, separate reference page, double spaced paragraphs, correct headings. Some folks have a sample paper or something they downloaded from a cheat site that has like the heading and then a colon, and that it's not in APA format anywhere. So just yeah, make sure you use an APA headings. And remember, you know, all references have to be cited at least once, or it's not a reference. And all citations need to have a reference on the reference page. And you'll see a lot of different help throughout the classroom in the form of templates and examples. In class discussion, use APA format for reference and citations, but you don't need a separate page because it's all in a discussion board. Definitely don't need a title page or anything like that. And don't post documents as your class discussion. Post it in the classroom, in the discussion board, open text. And yeah, make sure you watch my EndNote demonstration video. I mean, this EndNote makes, I could never have finished my dissertation without EndNote. Managing my citations and references, my bibliographic material. So I go through a demo there. It's several years old, but still accurate. And some other general expectations. Some folks, you can tell they're trying to get through the course. I had one student admit to me that he spends about an hour. That's just not going to cut it. It's just not going to cut it. I worked really hard. Everybody works really hard on their doctorate. Don't try and shortcut it. And I do expect you to check your email daily and answer my emails immediately as soon as you read it. I will occasionally ask you a question about something, and I need your answer. If I ask you a challenging question, answer the question. Answer the question. Don't go, oh, he didn't like what I turned in. Can I do it over? No. Answer the question. Okay. Another expectation, I expect you to ask questions. I don't get nearly as many questions as I should about, does it sound like I'm headed in the right direction? Wanted to ask a clarification question about this week's paper. Please ask questions. I check my Cumberland's email at least a couple times a day, but ask questions early. Okay. In the week, and I'll get to that. So also monitor your feedback. If I, ask you to make a correction to the way you're going about things, I expect to see that correction immediately in your next assignment, your next discussion, whatever the case may be. So make sure you're reading your feedback. I try and finish grading, by midweek, by Wednesday or so. Even though I technically have a week, I'd like to get you your feedback early so that you can incorporate it into that week's assignment. So yeah, make sure you're reading your feedback. If you have, and I do embedded comments in your documents as well as in the overall feedback under your score. So if you see something there you don't understand or you don't like, contact me immediately. Don't wait. Okay. This goes back to academic honesty. I recommend you don't even go to study sites. We had 37 folks that failed classes in a previous semester, like a year ago, for cheating. It's not a joke to me. If you can't write your own material, you're in the wrong program. So write your own stuff. Don't even go to like Course Hero or study.com or any of those places. And get started early in the week. I usually post the lecture and open up the folders Sunday morning generally. So you can kind of preview the week ahead and wrap up your discussions. All right. If you ask me a question on Sunday, there's no guarantee you're going to get an answer. You need to devote some number of hours during the week, early in the week, or it's not going to work. You can't do this. You can't do this entirely on the weekend because you'll wait too long. Okay. Week 1 to-do list. Sign the pledge. I don't want your quiz score. I need the signed pledge. And then I need you to hold up. I need you to take it seriously. The pledge, not the quiz. And then there's an introduction. There's a discussion, super easy discussion this week about a data analytics use case, which is so wide open. I look forward to everyone turning in something different. And then, the Start Here's got some good stuff. There's, like I said, I posted 2 supplemental videos on academic writing and bibliographic software that you need to watch. And Dr. Brown, my supervisor at the university, our program chair, has posted throughout the course just foundational information about the PhD program and your dissertation. So you're going to want to watch all of those things too. Okay. Yeah, the data analytics use case. Now, the week one objectives um, are broad, but none of them are required in order to discuss this analytics use case. So, and remember, guys, this is a PhD program. Nothing is going to be covered in sufficient depth to become a subject matter expert in the subject. You know, big data analytics and data science in an in an 8-week course. All what your objective is as a PhD student is to be able to hit the literature on a given topic, and you really I mean, understand the subject enough that when you're reading research articles, no kidding, research articles, um, you understand where the researcher is going. So it remember the PhD program is to get you to think and act like a researcher. It's not another master's degree. It's all about research. So this course isn't really about data science and big data analytics. It's about the body of research currently available about big data analytics and data science. So remember that. My favorite sources, I always start at Google Scholar. Some folks start at the library website, but I start my data mining, finding articles, beg your pardon, with Google Scholar. Another great thing about Google Scholar is it's easy to download the citation and add it to your bibliographic software. And I do a demo of that in that EndNote demo today this week. So yeah, big data. You got the 5 V's of big data. This has been examined and now for years. So what do you got? You got volume, which is just a lot of data coming from all these different sources: social media, the Internet of Things, web pages, mobile phones. Good grief! So what do you got? You got volume, velocity. So this information is coming at you really fast, and variety. Those are the original 3 V's of big data, and then they added value and veracity. Value because there's so much data you can't necessarily work with it all, so you have to place a value, decide what data is most valuable and can be acted on in real time. And then veracity is just trustworthiness, accuracy. So I've seen frameworks. Once something like this gets some momentum, academic writers will jump on the bandwagon and try and extend the framework or get their name associated with some new point of it. But those, those are journal articles proposing a framework. Those aren't really research articles. They didn't collect data. They're just writing about a topic and then proposing some framework that could be used in a subsequent research article. But need to be discerning about what you're reading when you read a journal article. What is it? Is it really research? Did they go out and collect data? Did they have a hypothesis, or did they explore something qualitatively and gather data? Did they do interviews? Did they look at photographs, or did they count numbers of anything? Surveys. Was data collected? Were findings published? But then there's articles on Google Scholar and on the library website that are really just informational. They're really not anything. They're just somebody writing about a topic, like a textbook chapter almost. Those are not true research articles. And you've got literature reviews, you've got people proposing frameworks, you've got people developing theories, you've got articles about methodology, different quantitative and qualitative research methodologies of just generically how to conduct research. So there's a bunch of different stuff out there on Google Scholar. It's not all the golden nugget of published research results. So make sure you understand that. So yeah. So if you're not familiar with these V's of big data, hit the books. There's no required textbook in this course, but this information is widely available out there. Make sure you understand the underlying imperatives about big data if you don't already. I'm expecting most folks with a master's degree in some form of IT that already know about this. And of course, cloud computing, it couldn't hurt professionally, let alone as a practitioner, as a researcher. It couldn't hurt to go out on YouTube, find a good provider, training provider that, or even internal to the cloud providers, Amazon, Microsoft, and Google, and get the underlying terminology of what they offer with their cloud services. The first stuff was like storage, web servers, so that you could deploy an application and store files in the cloud, um, and not have to worry about having your own architecture, your own infrastructure. But then it just ballooned, blossomed, and now you've got so much software as a service out there, and all of your functionality, all of your data is available on any device from anywhere. Just really magic. And then yeah, so there's two bullets here that say identify, research in. um, that means what I was talking about, being able to go out to Google Scholar and pull up an article on a given functional area, a given topic, given subject area, and get into that article and figure out what it is that you're reading. Is it a research project that gathered data and reported the results, or is it one of these framework recommending things, or is it an art just an explanatory article that doesn't really do anything except uh, provide some information? Some are going to be structured literature reviews. Those are really helpful. So yeah, when you identify research, means being able to pull up an academic article from a peer-reviewed journal and understand what it is that you're reading and how it fits into what you're trying to accomplish, whether it's for a weekly assignment or your dissertation. Yeah, IoT, that's the Internet of Things. That's in your personal life. That's your fitness watch, which is tied to your iPhone, which is pulling Wi-Fi from your home router, which also has connected to your home digital assistant, your Siri or your Alexa, and your security system, and your refrigerator that tells you if if you don't have milk in there, but you because it's got a camera inside. So yeah, IoT is all of these internet addressable gadgets, gizmos, that generally store that data in the cloud where it can be aggregated. You can aggregate music players and phones and computers and everything under the sun. But identifying research in that, and again, you don't need you don't need any of that to do the discussion this week. It's just that's the objectives from the syllabus. And then social data analysis. I think most inquiring minds have watched a special or two and learned a little bit about what is going on within social networks, who is connected to who likes what content. They're getting better and better and better and better and better at identifying and attributing people as to actually who you are, what you like, what your profession is, what you're likely to buy, what your likes and dislikes are. And then by using network analysis and graph databases and stuff like that, they can see who's connected to who's outside of a group, who communicates the most with you, who's physically close, who's most interactive with each other. Sentiment analysis, you can you can pull down a million tweets about a given subject and run it through a positive or negative sentiment analyzer to figure out stuff, big data analysis that you couldn't do manually, to see what people are thinking. So there's sentiment analysis. I did my dissertation on social networks inside the enterprise, inside work. So you got a major corporation, especially one full of knowledge workers. I did my dissertation on organizations that have about 3,000 to 5,000 people working, all of them in different areas with different levels of expertise, but a lot of it interrelating. And how does a social network allow those people to collaborate professionally? If this isn't, Facebook, oh, look what I ate for lunch. This is professional blogs and wikis and likes and connections and documents and whatnot, being used in work. I'll post my dissertation. It was fun. And then, identifying research in social networking. So there's like, Google it. Go to Google Scholar and pull up social network and any other keywords, or just start with social network. And then as you start to see stuff, you can add keywords and start to narrow your search. There's just a ton of work that's gone into social networking data analysis. And that may be one of the use cases that you want to use for your week 1 discussion. So there you go, guys. It goes fast. Okay. Keep up on it. Get into the reading. Every week's got materials that will help you. But it's not necessarily, depending on who you are and your experience, there's no way to fill in all the holes for every person. So you got to do a lot of self-study, depending on what you already know technically. Okay. But remember, if no one else has ever accented on this, your PhD program is not to make you a technical expert. It's to make you a researcher. You already are a technical expert, but you're not necessarily a researcher. So think about that. If that, and shoot me an email if you want to discuss that philosophy. I don't think a lot of people get taught that. So anyway, my detailed resume is in the My Instructor link. All the assignments and due dates and everything are in the syllabus. And remember, I have absolutely no tolerance for faking it, fake citations, fake fake discussions. I want to add a few points, any of that stuff. So don't feel pressure to sound smart or write like a PhD. It's much more important that you write originally and clearly and just tell the story. We can work on making things more formal if necessary. The most important thing to go for is originality. And remember, in the discussion board, discuss, don't lecture each other. Okay. Discuss, be real. Okay. I'll see you in class discussion. And as always, email me with any questions or concerns. And my email's there on the screen. And I will see you around class.